Invented in 1980 by Hungarian architect Erno Rubik, the Rubik's Cube has captivated individuals across the world. It is widely regarded as one of the most difficult puzzles of all time. However, a small subset of people have dedicated themselves to solving the Rubik's Cube as fast as possible. Known as speed cubers, these people have developed various methods and strategies as well as practicing for hours in order to break their personal best or maybe even a world record. Within the speed cubing community, there is a governing body known as the World Cube Association. This group hosts competitions all around the world, allowing people to record official results as well as break records. The first recognised speed cubing competition occurred in 1982, just 2 years after the inception of the cube. It was here that the first ever Rubik's Cube world record was set at a time of 22.95. This record was set by Minh Thai, a Vietnamese-American speed cuber. This record stood for 21 years as a result of no competitions occurring during that time. However, in 2003, the next Rubik's Cube World Championship was held. It was at this competition that the record was broken, twice. Dan Knights of the USA set the record at a time of 16.71 seconds. He was then bested by Jess Bond of Denmark with a time of 16.53 seconds. However, no video exists of either of these solves. Over the next 3 years, the record was broken 7 times. It was gradually whittled down to a time of 10.36, set by a French speedcuber by the name of Edouard Chambon. Then, in 2007, Thibaut Jacquinot broke the world record with a time of 9.86, the first sub-10. Unfortunately, no video exists of this solve, but it's safe to say it's probably one of the biggest milestones in the history of speed cubing. By 2008, however, the record had been beaten and bettered a total of 6 times. Dutch cuber Erik Akkersdijk held the world record at a seemingly unbeatable time of 7.08 seconds, as he'd broken the previous record by 1.64 seconds. And the record remained that way for a long time. In fact, it stayed that way for over 2 years, which was longer than any other previous record had stood, aside from Minh Thai's 22.95 second solve back in 1982. Eventually, however, Australian speedcuber Felix Zemdegs burst onto the scene, breaking the record twice in one day, bringing it down to 7.03 and later 6.77. He continued to chip away at the world record, breaking it a total of 7 times in just 7 months. By June 2011, the record stood at 5.66 seconds. This record stood for just under 2 years before being broken by Dutch cuber Mats Valk with a time of 5.55 seconds. Valk's record once again went unbeaten for over 2 years. Then, in 2015, the record was broken twice. Once by Colin Burns with a time of 5.25 seconds, and then again by Lucas Eder with a time of 4.90. This meant that the sub-5 barrier had finally been broken, once again marking one of the greatest achievements in speedcubing history. The world record was beaten twice more in 2016, first of all by Mats Valk with a time of 4.74 seconds. This record was then beaten just over a month later by Felix Zemdegs with a time of 4.73 seconds, beating the previous record by 100th of a second. If anything else, this proved how minute advancements in speed were becoming. In 2017, an American speedcuber, Patrick Ponce, broke the record with a time of 4.69 seconds, another tiny advancement of just 400ths of a second. Later in that year, Steve Cho, a Korean cuber, beat the record with a time of 4.59 seconds. In 2018, Felix Zemdegs tied the current world record with a time of 4.59 before breaking it again 5 months later with a time of 4.22 seconds. This meant that he'd been the world record holder a total of 10 times, more than any other individual. Our final entry to the list, as well as the most controversial, is courtesy of a Chinese speedcuber Yusheng Du. He broke the world record by 0.75 seconds with a time of 3.47. This marks the single largest improvement to the world record since Erik Akkersdijk's 7.08 second solve in 2008. The only available video of this solve is from a security camera, hence the poor quality. This is the main reason for the controversy behind the solve. However, the record stood and is considered by many to be genuinely unbeatable. Only time will tell, but countless cubers think this record could remain for decades to come.